Hey, happy Monday, everyone. It's December 8th, 2025. And you know what that means? That means there are how many days left in the 40-day challenge? There's 24 days left till the end of the year. That means you got 60% of your challenge left. At 15 minutes a day, that's 6 hours. So if you're working out 15 minutes a day till the end of the year, I had to write all this down, do a little bit of math, but you guys can do it. So get your workout in. And we're going to be talking about a pretty cool topic today, how to get a job teaching group fitness classes, something I know a lot about. I taught for more than 15 years. I taught yoga, but again, that's a group fitness class. We're going to be talking about that. But first, let me give a congrats shout out to the Indiana Hoosiers football team. You guys saw that over the weekend. They beat Ohio State. They're now the number one ranked team out of the top 12 teams in the nation. They're 13-0. They're going to be going to play in the Rose Bowl, I believe, out in there, California. Be talking about California because I taught there for quite a long time. But let me jump right over to volleyball. First, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to Brad DeRupo, the 12-time championship coach that we had on this show on Friday. That was number 213. It's number 214. And there's 3 Division I volleyball teams that made it to the next round. They made it to the Sweet 16. My 3 favorite teams, especially Nebraska Cornhuskers won. You saw that. Indiana Hoosiers won, and Purdue Boilermakers won. Those 3 teams are making it to the Sweet 16. So let me tell you, though, first start with Indiana. They got a tough one. They're going to be playing University of Texas, and I watched Texas play. Man, they are good. They swept Penn State 3-0, and Penn State's the defending national champs from last year. So they got their hands full. Good luck to the Hoosiers. How about Purdue? Purdue's got their hands full with SMU, Southern Methodist. I live right across the street from the university there. Beautiful campus. And it's north of Dallas. They've won 11 games in a row. They're 27-5 with an 844 win percentage. So Purdue has their hands full, but good luck to Kenna and Grace over there. And Nebraska, Nebraska wasn't their best against Kansas State, but no worries. They still won 3-0, and they're going to play Kansas, University of Kansas in the next round. And University of Kansas beat Miami 3-1. Never seen them play, but I have no worries with Nebraska moving on. So what happens if they all win? If they all win, Nebraska plays the winner of Texas A&M and Louisville, University of Louisville. And let me tell you, I watched Louisville play. They're a really strong team. So I think if Nebraska wins this round, they got their hands full against Louisville, who I project the winner over Texas A&M. Now, Purdue, if they win, they play the winner of Minnesota, University of Minnesota, and Pittsburgh. Wow. University of Pittsburgh, they have, I think, one of the best players, if not the best player in all of D1 this year, Olivia Babcock at Pittsburgh. She has 420 kills this year. She's unbelievable. She's only a junior. So, again, Purdue, if they beat SMU, is going to be playing Pitt. Wow, I watch Pitt. They're a tough team. I mean, Pitt could go give Nebraska a run for their money. But anyway, and Indiana, what happens with Indiana? If they win, again, they have to beat Texas. If they do, they play the winner of University of Wisconsin. Great team. They won 11 in a row so far. And Stanford's 29-4. So if they win, they're going to get to that 30 win mark. And, that's a magic number. So who knows? But good luck, Nebraska. Good luck, Purdue. Good luck, Indiana. Love to see you move on to the Elite Eight and then to the, Sweet 16 to the Elite Eight and to the Final Four would be awesome. All right, guys, let's just go right into it. How to get a job teaching group fitness classes. So for all you young folks out there, or maybe not so young, but let me tell you how this started. I got a phone call from a relative about maybe 6 weeks ago, and she said she's going through the online training to become a group fitness teacher. And she's like, you have experience with teaching in all these different cities. I said, well, yeah, I do. She goes, so how do I go about getting a job? I said, well, let me tell you. So I'm going to tell you, everyone out there, and I want to give a shout out to all my new subscribers on YouTube. Hey, thanks for subscribing. And let's jump right into this because you guys know I taught yoga for more than 15 years. Got certified in 2006 at New York Yoga, New York City. Since that time, I've taught more than 3,000 classes in at least 12 cities. Let me tell you where I taught, and I had to get jobs in all these cities. So yoga is a group fitness class. Yeah, you could teach it in studios, but when you're a yoga teacher, as everybody knows, you get certified. Now, I got certified at a studio, and I was lucky. There were 12 of us in the class, but they're only hiring 2. I was one of 2 that got hired. And I think if you look back, there might be only 2 or 3 left teaching. So it's pretty challenging to get hired at a gym or any other location, especially a yoga studio. If you're a yoga teacher, go into a yoga studio where you've never practiced, well, good luck. Probably not going to happen because they're likely to hire somebody from their teacher training program, which makes sense. But check this out. This is where I've taught yoga in these cities. New York City, of course, that's where I started. Went in downtown Los Angeles. I was in Burbank, Hollywood, San Francisco, and San Diego. So I had 6 locations in California where I taught, got hired to teach. I've taught in Seattle, Chicago, Plano, Texas, Austin, Texas, Honolulu, Hawaii, and I tried to work in Las Vegas, but I went to more than 50 casinos and no luck there. Only the Wynn, and there were only 2 locations. Can you believe it? At all the casinos, the Hard Rock, nobody taught yoga. But anyway, let's jump right into this. So I've basically taught in all those cities, and I've taught in more than 15 locations. I've taught at rooftops. I taught at 2 different rooftops. I taught at corporations. I taught in a kitchen once. I've taught in domestic violence shelters. You guys know that. I started a foundation, the Boulevard Zen Foundation, to teach yoga in domestic violence shelters. I taught so many private classes, but my thing was I would go to gyms and I would knock on their door and I would ask to be hired because gyms have these group fitness classes. Hey, guys, not to mention, I'm a certified yoga teacher. I'm a certified personal trainer and a certified spin instructor. Taught a little bit of spin, but yeah, I didn't really like that in conjunction with my yoga, so I sticked with yoga. I've taught anyone from the ages of 3 to 93. So I've taught them all, thousands of classes. I don't know how many students, maybe over 10,000 students, but here you go. This is how, love that. This is how you get a job teaching a group fitness class at any location. All right, first of all, you have to get certified. Let's start with that. Where do you get certified? Nowadays, you get certified online. Here's a bunch of them. You can go to ACE Fitness, NASM, National Association of Sport. You can check these out online. NASM, American Sports and Fitness, ISSA, NETA, NETA, NESTA, NESTA. That's her. I got certified for PT. ACSM. So there's a bunch of them. You can check it out, do the research, find yourself one that you like. If you're a person that's into fitness, first you got to get certified. Second, you want to get CPR certified. You could do that online. You definitely want to do that before you walk into any place to get a job. All right. Next thing you do is you put a resume together. All right. When it comes to resumes, let me tell you, here's what I would do. Again, I recommend this. This is what I did. You have to put a picture of you doing something fitness oriented in a very positive energy mode. Like you got to be smiling, got to be happy, you got to be upbeat. I put 2 pictures. I put one of me teaching yoga and another of me just smiling in like a, kind of a fitnessy pose showing the body. All right. Then you want to list your certifications, whatever it is, list them. Then you want to list your education. So certifications, then all of your education. And you just need to be 18 years old with a high school diploma, but that's okay. Put it down. My relative, she's a college grad. I think she might even have a master's. But the thing is, you want to list all your education, regardless of if it's fitness or not. Then you want to put your experience. Now, if you have no experience teaching, that's okay. Put all your experiences taking group fitness classes. I don't care. List all the places where you've ever worked out, all the gyms, if it's Orange Theory, doesn't really matter what it is. If it's LA Fitness, if it's, it doesn't really matter. You list it. Planet Fitness, put it down so that they know you have experience in the fitness world. Number 4, part 4, all of your other accomplishments or accolades. I don't care what it is. You want to show that you're success at succeeding at something, right? For me, I've done a lot in Hollywood. You guys know that. I've made yoga styles of Rich and the Almost Famous. Go take a look at that. But there's a lot of accolades you could put down, and I don't care what it is. If you got them in high school or college, put it down. And finally, you need to, if you don't have a website, it'd be good to have a website, but it's okay if you don't. Make sure your email and your telephone number is on that resume. And again, make sure there's a photo or two. Got to be smiling, positive, wearing fitness clothes. So go get your best Lululemon clothes or aloe, whatever you guys are wearing out there. Put the resume together and make sure you put that CPR on there. That's important, guys. Get that. All right. Number 3, this is most important. You need to go door to door. You got to knock on doors. I know nowadays, you kids, everything's online. Sure, you could search online, Craigslist or Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever it is you think you're going to find a job. But in my experience, you got to show up. You got to kick the bricks. You got to go there. Now, what I did is I took a 20-mile radius of everywhere I lived and I drew a circle. Okay, 20 miles, because within, if you have a car, if you don't have a car and you're taking mass transit, that's okay. But you need to be able to get to these locations within 30 minutes. Why? Well, suppose you get called to sub a class and they say, can you be here in 30 minutes? You got to be able to do that. So I recommend a 20-mile radius. Draw a circle of 20 miles and go door to door to every club, every gym, every health club, every fitness studio within that. Not to mention, hey guys, go to hotels. You go to senior living facilities. I taught in them. I've taught in hotels. YMCA. I've taught in YMCA. Apartment buildings. I've taught in apartment buildings. I taught on the roof. I taught in the basement. I taught in the kitchen, like I said. And any corporations, because corporations hire group fitness teachers. You never know, especially yoga. All right, so you got to go to all these places and you have to put a list together. Put a little spreadsheet. You want to make note of all the places that you've been to. And again, do it on a spreadsheet. If you have to do it on the handwritten, do it handwritten, but you got to keep that notebook. All right, so you got to go door to door. Here's what you do when you get there. First of all, you want to be dressed like a fitness person. All right, you don't need to be wearing a suit and tie. Okay, be dressed like you're going to work out, your best workout clothes, so they could see that you're into this. Then you want to introduce yourself to the group fitness manager. So what's going to happen is you're going to go up to the front desk, and it's typically not the group fitness manager or the club manager. They're not working the front desk, but that's okay. You ask, say, hi, I'm here to submit myself for work as a group fitness teacher. And is there any chance I can meet with the group fitness manager? Typically, it's no. You're going to say, okay, can I leave a resume? Great. Can I get their business card? This is most important. You got to get their business card and the business card of the club manager. 2 different people, guys. You got the group fitness manager is most likely not the club manager. Get both of their business cards. Leave a resume for the group fitness manager. Then you go home. This is most important. You got to, and get the name of the person you're speaking with. So Joanne's at the front desk or Frank or whoever it is, get their name. Then you go back at the end of this, right? You're going, I don't know, however many days it takes you to go to all these locations. And when you walk out of there, make sure you keep a notebook. You write the name of the person. I take the business card. On the back of the business card, I put spoke with Frank, and I put the time and the day, so that I know when I put that card down later who I spoke with. Then when I get home, I'll staple together the group fitness manager with the club manager, just so that they're together. All right. So you know you have a record of who you spoke with. All right. So, what you're going to do is, if you do get lucky enough to speak with a group fitness manager, you want to say, hey, any chance I can get on the sub list, the substitutions list? Most of the time, they're not looking to hire somebody right away to take a class. However, group fitness teachers sub out all the time. Yoga teachers sub out all the time. That's how you get started. You say, let me prove myself by being a sub because, hey, it's the same thing with teaching. You guys know my book, The Sub. It's easy to get in the door as a sub, not necessarily as a teacher. But if you do a good job, they're going to like you. And next thing you know, they're going to offer you a class. So that's very important. So again, if you happen to get the meeting first time out, you ask them, is it possible to get on the sub list? Because now you got your toe in the door, or so to say, the foot in the door. And then any chance you can to sub, you sub. Now, this is another thing that's important. If you do get a chance to sub, you want to meet as many teachers teaching your discipline as possible. You want to take their classes. You want to go to different clubs and take classes and try to get to know the teachers, because sometimes, hey, that happened to me so many times. I take a yoga class. I've had a very strong practice. And then you start talking to the teacher, and next thing you know, they say, hey, I could mention you. I could kind of get you in the door if you want. So that's another great way to make relationships with teachers that are already teaching there. All right. So here's what you do when you don't get the interview. You go home. No doubt. You got to put the list together. And now you have to email them. You have to email both the group fitness manager and the club manager, put them on the same email and say, hi, my name is Rich. I met with Frank this morning. I dropped my resume off. Or if it's yesterday, but you want to do it within 48 hours, send an email and saying, I'm interested in getting on the sub list. Is it possible? Here's my resume. Attach the resume. Send the email. Likely they're not going to email you back. No worries. What are you going to do? After you've done all this, you went to 10 different locations. You dropped off 10 resumes. By the way, print the resume out in color, guys. Do not have a black and white photo. You want a color photo. So what are you going to do? If nobody responds, no worries. The silent rejection, yeah, that's a Hollywood thing for sure. But no worries. What you do is every 4 to 6 weeks, you go do it again. Repeat, right? You apply yourself, go kicking door to door, and then you repeat. You will get hired. 100% sure you will get hired. And remember, don't forget the YMCAs, because as soon as you get working somewhere, update the resume. Then you could send it out again. If you happen to get hired by somebody, you put that on the resume and then you write everybody back and say, hey, I just want to let you know I just got hired by such and such. Would love to get on your sub list. Because it's not like one place. You want to work at as many places. I mean, in Seattle, I had 6 different places I was working teaching yoga, because it's okay. Until you get your own class, you want to be subbing as much as you can, and you want to be reliable. You want to show up on time when they do call you, and you want to do a great job. All right. All of that. And without a doubt, you will get hired. But remember, you got to repeat this whole thing again. If it doesn't work the first time out, do not get discouraged. It will work. So again, that's how you get hired. That's how you get a job teaching group fitness classes. It doesn't matter what you're teaching, guys. But again, if I can impress upon you, if you have the money, because I know it's costly to go take these classes, but that's what you need to do. And you want to ask questions, want to get to know people as much as you can. All right, guys. So there you have it. That's all I wanted to do today. So I'm looking forward to this weekend. As you all know, volleyball continues. And with your workouts, you need to continue and try to get in those 24 days left. All right, guys. Have an awesome day. And as always, get your workout in. Peace.